Good morning, grade 7. Welcome to Social Sciences. Today we're going to look at natural resources and the conservation of them, particularly focusing of that within South Africa. We're going to look at topics, firstly, what is in fact a natural resource, why is it important to conserve them. We're going to look at ways of being a little bit more environmentally sustainable. We're going to look at the major natural resources that occur within South Africa. And we're also going to dive briefly into the difference between a renewable and a non-renewable resource. Firstly, let's start off with a little bit of general knowledge. Can anyone tell me what a natural resource is? And why do we think it is important for us to conserve these natural resources? So a natural resource is a material or substance that occurs naturally and can be used for various purposes. Our key word there is a natural resources. So within the word natural, we can obviously see nature, and that gives the answer away. It is a material or substance that occurs naturally, that occurs within nature. All right, some examples there are water, natural minerals, forests, and wildlife. So before we move on, I just want you to get into groups, and I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to discuss amongst your groups, and I want you to come up with an answer to the following question. Why are natural resources important for daily life, and why is it important for us to conserve them? I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and then we're going to go through it together within groups. Alright, so just looking at that at this diagram, it's quite a nice diagram that paints a clear picture of how to be more environmentally sustainable. So starting from left to right within the diagram, we can bike more and drive less. So obviously our cars release these toxic fumes that come from the burning of petroleum or diesel that are released into the environment. The world has already gone to electric cars and things like that, so we're already moving in that direction. But I think when we can, we should ride a bicycle or take a walk. Okay, it's both good for the environment and it gives us a little bit of exercise as well. We need to educate each other. When you further your own education, you can help others understand the importance and value of our natural resources. So we need to be knowledgeable of how to be environmentally sustainable. We need to be knowledgeable of the status of our planet. We need to be knowledgeable of what's renewable and what's non-renewable. We need to be knowledgeable about how to recycle and what we can do to play our own individual part in conserving these natural resources, and obviously just extending the lifespan of our own planet and our future generations as well. We can all volunteer for cleanups in our communities. You can get involved in protecting your watershed too. So we can volunteer for beach cleanups, cleanups in nature reserves or national parks. Okay, it's just about making that extra effort and volunteering and just helping out where possible. We can reduce, reuse, and recycle. That is referring to the 3 R's, of course. Cut down on what you throw away. Follow the 3 R's to conserve natural resources and landfill space. So reduce meaning we can reduce the amount of plastic that we use. A lot of shopping centers have already gone in the direction of adopting plastic, paper bags and paper cups. We can reuse the plastic that we do in fact use. So after we've finished a Coke or a Sprite, we can wash that plastic bottle, put it in our cupboards, and we can use it as a water bottle. And then recycle, of course, as well. Conserve water. The less water you use, the less runoff and wastewater that eventually ends up in the ocean. So all this water that we use from our showers and taps and sinks and all that all either feeds into a river or into the ocean. So think about all that soap that you're using, all the toilet water, for example. So when we can maybe take showers instead of baths. We can lower the water pressure for our garden hoses. There are multiple ways and even ways to get creative for us to use less water. They've given us the name for a website there where we can how to make smart seafood choices, because obviously we don't want to contribute to overfishing. We buy less plastic and bring a reusable shopping bag. So there's these cotton bags and these material bags that are widely available. You can buy yourself a couple and then just bring it to the shops when you go shopping, instead of letting Checkers or Pick n Pay give you just another plastic bag, for example. And even if you do get that plastic bag, plastic packet from your shopping centre, don't just throw it in the bin. Rather throw it in your cupboard, and you can use it again for multiple purposes. We can use energy efficient light bulbs to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We can also flip the light switch off when you leave the room. So the lights don't need to be on all day, particularly within the daytime. There's natural sunlight coming in, so there's no reason for the lights to be on. When you leave the bathroom, you must put the lights off. Make sure you put the TV off at night. It's just little things that we can do just to save a bit of energy. Trees provide us with food and oxygen. They help save energy, clean the air, and help combat climate change. So why not, let's just plant a tree. Let's just expand our own gardens a little bit. Okay, trees are vital for our survival, so it's important that we plant more and that we protect what we do have. Don't send chemicals into our waterways. We can choose non-toxic chemicals in the home and the office. So in reference to our detergent products, there are environmentally friendly products that we can buy and use instead of the ones that are harmful to us. So some major natural resources that occur within South Africa. South Africa is a very resource-rich country in terms of resources. We have almost anything that you can think of: gold, platinum, copper, diamonds, coal, uranium, and abundance of farmland and food, a lot of which we export, and that's where the majority of our wealth comes from, our import-export. So referring to minerals, we can find gold, platinum, diamonds, and coal. In terms of agricultural resources, almost everywhere you look, there are farmlands close by. So our major ones there are corn, wheat, and sugarcane. Our wildlife and biodiversity, almost everywhere you look, there's a variety of ecosystems. There's wildlife, plant life, animal life. We are very blessed to live in a country that's very, very rich in ecosystems and has an abundance of wildlife. For example, there the Kruger National Park and the Cape Floral Kingdom, and then water resources as well. So we have very large major national rivers and dams, for example, the Orange River in the Free State and the Umgeni River here in KwaZulu-Natal. Just a quick slide there so we can see a picture of a gold bar. Gauteng is particularly known for gold mining. Wildlife, so we have very large national parks, for example the Kruger National Park that we went through, and then there's a picture of the Orange River there as well. Excuse me. So the importance of conserving natural resources. So we went through, you should have discussed this together in your groups. So natural resources provide us with food, water, and power. Okay, so if we do not use our natural resources wisely, we are at risk of these things running out. Okay, we put our future generations at risk of food shortages, of a lack of water, and obviously no power as well. So like I said, the world has already gone towards electric cars and solar energy, but the problem with that is the machinery that is used to generate this power is often very expensive. So we need to, where possible, save as much electricity as we can and just prolong the lifespan of the coal that we do have. If we do not use them efficiently, then we put our future generations at risk, like I say. And it's not think about a human being. We need blood to survive. We need our organs to survive. If we remove the natural resources from planet Earth, those are her organs, those are her blood. It is vital for the planet's survival for these natural resources, or enough of them, to stay within within the planet Earth. So if we constantly extracting them and not using them wisely, we are taking away our planet's livelihood, and then we obviously put our future generations at risk of natural disasters, starvation, droughts, anything you can think of. So, renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable are resources that regenerate and regrow after a short period of time, for example, solar, wind, and water. Non-renewable take many years, hundreds, sometimes thousands of years to regrow and regenerate, for example, coal, natural gas, and oil. So if we look at solar wind farms, we can see those big wind turbines that obviously get turned by the wind, and as that motor turns, it is able to generate power and electricity. Solar, we've gone solar panels, so the UV rays from the sun shines onto these panels, heats them up, and our power is generated from there as well. And then water, hydroelectricity, so we install these big wheels that get turned by the flow of water next to a river or next to a dam, and as that turns, it also generates a motor which generates power. And then you get non-renewable, so coal, natural gas, anything that is extracted from the earth and is immediately burnt up to give us power. So that's the problem. It's extracted and then it's burnt up. We can't get it back. So that's what we mean by non-renewable. Alright, so just to end off with a summary, natural resources are materials or minerals that occur in nature, for example, water, forests, and wildlife. So the key word there is natural, meaning nature. Minerals, agriculture, wildlife, and water resources are the major natural resources that occur in South Africa. So minerals such as copper, gold, diamonds, platinum, uranium. Agriculture, our abundance of farms, particularly corn, wheat, and sugarcane. Our wildlife, we have lots of large national parks such as the Kruger National Park. And the water resources, we have these big dams and rivers. It is important for us to conserve natural resources to preserve life for our future generations and the overall livelihood of our planet. We then discussed the difference between renewable and non-renewable resource. A renewable resource is able to generate in a short period of time, and a non-renewable resource can take a long period of time to regenerate and may even run out. Alright, that is it for the lesson. I trust that you enjoyed it. I have given you all homework. Your homework is to research and write a short paragraph on why it is important to conserve natural resources. I have given you an abundance of knowledge within this PowerPoint as well as within our class discussion for you to answer that question. So that paragraph will be due in the next lesson. I trust that you've had an enjoyable lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you, grade 7.